Subtopic 3, Conceptions of Leadership. This subtopic aims to achieve module learning outcomes, ensures the success and sustainability of community development initiative. Now, let us discuss some key for conceptions of leadership, which are different ways of understanding how leadership works and what makes it effective. These conceptions influence how leaders approach their roles, interact with their communities, and make decisions. Let's explore a few important perspectives on leadership. First, we have what we call leader-centric conception. This view places emphasis on the leader traits, skills, and actions as the primary determinants of success. Leader-centric models focus on personal qualities such as charisma, decision-making abilities, and expertise. In this conception, the leader is seen as a driving force behind the success of a community or organizations. For example, think of a charismatic political figure who rallies people through powerful speeches and sharp decision-making. In such cases, the leader's influence and visions often set the course for groups, and their personal qualities can either motivate or demoralize those they lead. Next is follower-centric conceptions. Follower-centric conceptions of leadership, which highlights the importance of followers in shaping leadership effectiveness. This view suggests that understanding the needs and aspirations of followers is key to effective leadership. Leaders in this framework focus on empowering their followers, creating environments where they can thrive, and ensuring that the followers' voices are heard. For instance, a community leader might work to foster the growth of individual members by providing opportunities for skills developments and personal advancements, recognizing that the success of the community is deeply intertwined with the well-being and engagements of its people. A great example might be a teacher who empowers students by encouraging the students to take charge of their learning, cultivating a sense of responsibilities and ownership. Another important perspective is relational leadership. These conceptions view leadership as a process of building relationships between leaders and followers. Leadership here is not just about power or control, but also about collaborations, trust, and mature influence. The leader is seen as someone who works alongside followers to achieve common goals. A good examples of this could be seen in grassroots community organizations where the leaders spend time cultivating strong relationships, listening to concerns, and fostering trust through members. The leader's ability to engage in genuine dialogues and create a supportive environment often leads to stronger, more sustainable outcomes because people feel valued and connected. Lastly, we have situational leadership, which recognizes that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to leadership. Effective leadership depends on specific context and situation. Leaders must adapt their style based on the unique needs of different scenarios, including the capabilities of their team's members, the urgency of decisions, and the challenges they face. For instance, a leader may take a directive approach in a crisis situations where quick decisions are essential, but in a more stable environments, they may shift to a more collaborative and participative approach, allowing followers to contribute more to the decision-making process. Examples of this adaptability can be seen in emergency management, where leaders need to respond swiftly during a natural disaster, yet remain flexible to adjust strategies as the situations evolve. In conclusions, leadership can be understood through different conceptions, each offering a unique perspective on what makes a leader effective. Whether it's the leader-centric approach that focuses on personal traits, the follower-centric views that value the rule of followers, the relational leadership models that emphasize collaborations, or situation leadership which adapt to context. These conceptions provide value insights into complex and dynamic natures of leadership. Subtopic 4, Challenges of Leadership. This subtopic aims to achieve module learning outcomes, enables community development agents to work effectively with diverse groups, navigate complex social dynamics, and foster sustainable change. Let's talk and explore some of the key challenges of leadership in community developments. As we know, leadership in this context is highly rewarding, but also comes with significant hurdles. One major challenge is managing diverse needs and interests. In any communities, there are a variety of groups with different priorities, value, and expectations. Balancing these diverse needs can be quite difficult for a leader. For example, in a community development project focused on building new infrastructures, some residents may prioritize job creations, while others may be more concerned about environmental sustainability. The leader must navigate these conflicting interests and find solutions that can, as much as possible, address the concern of all groups. This requires a deep understanding of the community's social fabric, as well as diplomatic skills to mediate between different viewpoints. Another challenge is dealing with resource constraint. Community development initiatives often face limited access to financials and human resources. Without sufficient funding or skilled personnel, it can be hard to carry out and sustain long-term projects. For example, a community trying to establish a local health clinic may struggle to find qualified medical staff or secure enough funding to keep the clinic running. In these cases, leaders must be creative, finding ways to make the most of limited resources and potentially seeking partnership or external funding to fill the gaps. Leaders must also be prepared to address resistance to change. Communities, like individuals, can be resistant to new ideas and initiatives, especially if they challenge the status quo or require significant adjustment. Resistance might come from members who are skeptical or fearful of potential negative impacts. For example, if community leaders introduce a new waste management program aimed at improving environmental conditions, some community members may resist the change due to the concern about cost, inconvenience, or unfamiliarity. To overcome this, leaders must communicate effectively, building trust by clearly explaining the benefit of the change and showing empathy towards the concerns of the communities. Another significant challenge is maintaining engagements over time. Community development is often a slow process, with progress that can be difficult to see in the short term. Keeping community members motivated and involved can be tough, especially when people begin to feel discouraged or disconnected from the project goals. For example, a community revitalization project aims at restoring public space may take years to complete, during which time members may lose interest or questions whether their involvement is making any difference. Leaders must work to keep people energized and invested, perhaps by celebrating small victories and continually reminding the communities of the long-term benefit. Finally, leaders must tackle navigating complex issues. Community developments often involve addressing multifaceted social, economic, and environmental challenges. These issues don't have simple solutions and often require the coordinations of multiple stakeholders. For instance, a community leaders working on affordable housing may need to engage with government agencies, developers, residents, and advocacy groups, all of whom may have different agendas and priorities. Navigating these complex dynamics demands strong negotiation skills, patience, and the ability to synthesize diverse perspectives into cohesive strategies. In conclusion, leadership in community development comes with a unique set of challenges, from balancing diverse needs and managing limited resources to overcoming resistance to change, maintaining engagements, and navigating complex issues. Leaders must be resilient and adaptable to succeed. By embracing these challenges, leaders can help build stronger, more sustainable communities. Subtopic 5: Encouraging leadership development across the lifespan. This subtopic aims to achieve module learning outcomes, promote inclusivity and diversity of talents to community development efforts. Encouraging leadership development across the lifespan is a critical topic in community development. Leadership is not confined to a specific age or phase of life. In fact, fostering leadership at various stages can have a profound and lasting impact on individuals and also the communities. Let's explore how we can promote leadership developments throughout different phases of life. First, let's talk about youth engagement. It's essential to start developing leadership skills early. And one way to do this is by actively engaging young people in leadership roles. Programs such as youth councils, internships, and mentoring initiatives allow young people to take responsibility, make decisions, and lead projects. For example, a community might organize youth-led environments initiative, where young people are responsible for planning and executing activities like tree planting or recycling drives. By offering these opportunities, we empower the youth to develop confidence, teamwork, and problem-solving skills that will serve them throughout their life. Next, we must emphasize continuous learning. Leadership is not something you master at a young age and can carry for life. It actually requires ongoing learnings and developments. To encourage this, communities can organize workshops, seminars, and professional development opportunity for those or individuals at all stages of their careers. Take for instance, a mid-career professional participating in a leadership seminar that focus on emotional intelligence or conflict resolution. By continuously refining these skills, individuals remain adaptable and capable of leading effectively in ever-changing environment. Another important aspect is offering diverse opportunities for leadership. Not everyone learns or thrives in the same way, so it is essential to create varied leadership roles within community projects. This allows individuals to gain experience in different areas. For example, in a community organization focused on public health, some individuals might lead educational outreach efforts, while others could take charge of fundraising or logistical coordinations. By offering a wide range of responsibilities, we give people the chance to develop their leadership abilities in contexts that suit their strengths and interests. Mentorships and coachings are also key to fostering leadership. Pairing emerging leaders with experienced mentors allow them to navigate challenges, set meaningful goals, and tap into their potentials. A mentor can offer valuable advice and encouragements, helping budding leaders through complex situations. For instance, a young professional might face difficulties in managing a team for the first time. With the guidance of a mentor, they can learn how to address issues, gain confidence, and ultimately grow as a leader. Finally, we must prioritize inclusive participations. Leadership development opportunities should be accessible to individuals from all backgrounds and experiences. Diversity in leadership enriches decision-making and brings different perspectives to the table, benefiting the entire community. For example, ensuring that leadership development programs actively engage women, ethnic minorities, and people from underrepresented groups helps create a more inclusive leadership structure where all voices are heard and valued. In conclusion, encouraging leadership developments across the lifespan is about creating a holistic, inclusive, and diverse environment where everyone has the opportunity to grow as a leader. By engaging youth, promoting continuous learning, offering diverse leadership opportunity, providing mentorships, and fostering inclusivity, we can nurture capable leaders who will contribute to the sustainability and growth of our communities at every stage of life. As we come to the conclusions of this topic on community leadership philosophy and style, let's recap the key points we have covered. First, we explore leadership philosophy, which provide a foundation for how leaders guide their actions, make decisions, and engage with their communities. A clear leadership philosophy builds trust, ensures consistencies, and aligns leaders' behaviors with their values. Next, we discuss community leadership styles, focusing on various approaches such as transformational leadership, which inspire communities through shared visions, participative leaderships, which value inputs from community members, servant leaderships, which prioritize the needs of others, and adaptive leaderships, which embrace flexibilities and innovations in changing environments. We also examine conceptions of leadership, including the leader-centric view, which focuses on leaders' traits and skills, the follower-centric approach that highlights followers' rules, relational leadership emphasizes collaborations, and situational leadership, which adapts to context of specific challenges. Then, we touch on challenges of leadership, such as managing diverse needs and interests, overcoming resources constraints, handling resistance to change, maintaining community engagement, and navigating complex social and economic issues. Finally, we dive into encouraging leadership developments across the lifespan, which involves supporting leadership growth at every stage of life, from youth engagements to continuous learning, diverse opportunities, mentorships, and inclusive participations. Leadership development is essential to creating resilience and sustainable communities. By understanding this aspect, leadership philosophy, style, conceptions, challenges, and development strategies, we empower communities leaders to effectively mobilize resources, engage stakeholders, and promote inclusivity and sustainability in community development efforts. Thank you, and see you in our last subtopic then.